Greetings, Booktubers, and welcome back to Grammaticus Books. What we got online for you here today is a good one. We have a review that no other booktuber would dare to bring you. Not Bookpilled, not Steve Donahue, not Michael K. Vaughan, even though Michael K. Vaughan has been promising it for years and it would knock 10 books off of his 500 book challenge. But I, Grammaticus, will dare to bring it to you. And that review is The Chronicles of Amber by Roger Zelazny. It is a 5-book series. The first cycle, there are 2 cycles. There's the Corwin Cycle and the Merlin Cycle. And this is the first one, the Corwin Cycle, which consists of 5 books. It was brought to us by Roger Zelazny, who we lost in 1995, unfortunately. But he started writing these books in the 1970s. And Roger Zelazny came up with The World of Amber and the Chronicles of Amber, which is just a fantastic series of books. And what it is you have the world of Amber, just sort of in a nutshell. Amber is the one true world, and all other worlds are shadows or reflections of the world of Amber. And the princes of Amber, such as in the 9 Princes of Amber in the first book in the series, are sort of superhuman beings who can travel throughout these shadow realms to these shadow worlds and can shape them and form them and create them. And as they get farther and farther away, these shadow realms from the one true world of Amber, these shadow realms can become more and more unstable. And the whole realm is ruled by the king Oberon. And at the start of the first book, Oberon has disappeared and the princes of Amber are all vying for the throne of Amber. And your main character is Corwin, who wakes up on Earth, and then his brother Eric on Amber is trying to usurp the throne. And the 5-book series is all about Corwin trying to get back the throne of Amber. And there's a lot of twists and turns in it. There's a lot of family interrelationships that are very Machiavellian-like, sort of like the Medicis in Italy, with a lot of backstabbing alliances. You don't know who to trust, which family member is supporting their guy or themselves, or if they're supporting somebody else. And it's all written in this 1970s flair, because Earth, which is again is a shadow of Amber, the Earth that Roger Zelazny writes about is 1970. That's when he's writing these novels, and he puts just a ton of 1970s culture into the novels when the princes and the story is taking place on Earth, because the story takes place on Earth, the shadow realm of Earth, other shadow realms of Amber, and then on Amber itself, which sort of sits in a medieval style of technology with a lot of magic worked into it. And the 70s, the language on Earth, the bar scenes, the pickup scenes, the cars, the clothes, it's fantastic. If you like that type of nostalgia, you're really going to love these books. I know some people have critiqued these as being a little too over the top 70s, but I personally really enjoyed it. And Zelazny writes these books with just a velocity. The pacing of the story and the arc just goes along at a very fast clip that's very enjoyable. And he writes beautifully, particularly when he's describing these other worlds. It's so well envisioned, this entire universe that all emanates out from the world of Amber, that it's immensely enjoyable, and you really enjoy the characters as well, and all the personal interrelationships that develop, and who you can trust and who you can't trust. It makes for a fantastic read. But I know what you're saying. You were looking at my books here, and I'll go through them. The first one is The 9 Princes of Amber. Then you have The Guns of Avalon, Sign of the Unicorn, and then it culminates in The Courts of Chaos. You said, but Grammaticus, you said it was 5 books. It is 5 books. I'm missing the 4th book in the series, which is The Hand of Oberon. I like to find my books in the wild whenever possible, and I'm hoping to rectify this oversight of my collection this weekend. But if I have to, I love this series so much, I'll go out and I'll get one off of eBay or some other online forum. It's so good. So that's why I'm missing one of them. I'm missing The Hand of Oberon. And a note on the books culminate in The Courts of Chaos, which is sort of the crescendo, the final battle between the forces of chaos, the Courts of Chaos, and the forces of order on Amber, to determine the fate of Amber and the throne of the Amber, which is the main city over there. But the final book here, this one, is written in a much different vein than the preceding 4. The preceding 4 all are written with this 70s vein and vibe, this magical fantasy / science fiction vibe. It's sort of a blend of both of them that I really enjoy. And then you get to the 5th book here. And I think Roger Zelazny, this is my personal opinion, I have nothing to back it up. I think Roger Zelazny took a couple hits of acid and then he wrote this final book when he was on acid. It's written in just a completely different vein from the other books, but it makes sense. You're coming together in the final apocalyptic battle. It's Armageddon, all wrapped into one with um, Ragnarok between these forces with all these magical powers going, and it's like one giant acid trip. But it works. It does work, but it is different. It's going to hit you, and it's going to be a different pace, and you're going to like be going, "What's going on here, Roger? What did you take when you wrote this?" But it's still very enjoyable. I really recommend this series to anybody if you enjoy a good, fast-paced, well-written, good relationships, great characters. There's not a lot of navel-gazing in it. A direct arc, but it has a lot of twists and turns that'll keep you engaged and interested in these characters. You can't go wrong with this series. Two of the most common critiques that come up is that the 70s part on Earth is a little over the top. I enjoyed it, but some people thought it was too much. And the other critique that you get is that some of the passages through shadow, the princes travel through shadow via these trump cards that are magical trump cards that they create, that they can make, that can transport them to a person or a place. And as they're moving through the shadow realms in order to evade a pursuit or to get to a particular realm that they need to go about other realms circuitously in order to arrive there, it can get a bit long and involved, but often it's very beautifully written, and it's an enjoyable point on its own, but it can get a little long in those spots. But they're not that many. They do add to the book, in my opinion, but it is one critique of the books that I thought I should bring up for you guys. It's a great series of books, so I highly recommend it. Roger Zelazny is a fantastic author, and this series is so popular. I don't know why it doesn't get more attention on BookTube. I'm sure there are BookTubers out there who have covered it, and maybe even BookPilled or even Steve Donahue did cover it, and I've just missed it. I know Michael K. Vaughan hasn't, and again, it would be 10 books off his 500 book challenge. But it's popular enough, it's spawned a lot of other related items that you can pick up and get that came out in print, such as the illustrated Roger Zelazny. And this is just a graphic novel collection of Roger Zelazny stories other than the Courts of Amber, but it also has a lot of art on the Courts of Amber and the Chronicles of Amber. And I'll show you, it's right here in the centerfold. It's sort of a collage of all the different characters and some of the scenes in Amber. They call it an Amber tapestry in here. And I'll show it up for you. I love this artwork. This is old school artwork, back where you actually had to use your hands to pick up some type of an art utensil and then put it down in a medium form on a piece of paper somewhere. And it's just beautifully done stuff. I really enjoy it. Here's some of the Princes of Amber over here. And again, looking at some of the other scenes, this is Oberon up in the corner. And then you have mixed in here with all this fantasy and sort of medieval wear and magical medieval accoutrements and outfits on Amber. And then you've got a 1970s Mercedes down here in the bottom. And that's one of the things that I love about this book, the juxtaposition between Amber and Shadow Earth in the 1970s. And Zelazny pulls it off just beautifully. He blends them seamlessly. And this is Corwin over there, the hero of the series, and some of the other princes. And then you have Dworkin, the original creator of the trump cards, and one of the dragons. This is a great book if you can find it. It's hard to find, but it's not expensive if you want to try to pick that one up. And then the other one, the other spin-off from the Courts of Amber, the Chronicles of Amber, is the role-playing game, the diceless role-playing game called Amber. And I picked this up again for the art. I love that artwork. It's beautiful. And it's the best thing about this role-playing game, because the role-playing game, it's not very robust. It doesn't work very well. I don't know anybody who is actively engaged in a campaign So as I was saying before my video cut out on me here, I'm having some video difficulties. It decides to just cut in and out and stop videotaping right in the middle of videos. Hopefully this one makes it through, but if you want to play this in a role-playing game, you're better off just converting it over to GURPS or some other role-playing system, because this one is not the best. But that's it for the Chronicles of Amber. I will say this. The rights to it have been sold by the estate of Roger Zelazny. It's been picked up by a publishing company, a production company that is in the process of putting it into a live action film for a TV series that's going to be directed by Stephen Colbert. I was kind of shocked when I saw this. I'm happy that they're going to bring Amber and give it the attention it deserves and make a live action production of it. I'm excited to see that. I'm a little trepidatious that Stephen Colbert is going to be the guy in charge of producing and directing it. I think that he's probably not the best person for that role. I hope I'm proved wrong. I'll eat a giant slice of crow pie if that's the case, but I just don't see Stephen Colbert as being the right guy to produce Chronicles of Amber based on the content of the books. Again, I might be wrong, and you guys are free to make me eat that slice of crow if I am, but I suspect that if it does make it to actual production and they produce a product that we can view on television, that Corwin will wind up being relegated as a supporting actor in his own series. That's where I think it would go if they film this series. Again, I hope I'm wrong, but we'll see if they ever make it. But anyway, that's it for this series. If you've read Chronicles of Amber and you liked it or you didn't like it, please put your comments down in the comments section below. I do read all the comments and I try to reply to all of them. I would love to see what you guys think of Roger Zelazny's writing in general and the Chronicles of Amber in particular. But that's it for today. So take care, be safe, and hopefully I'll be seeing you all in the future.